construction next door, so I apologize in advance for the sound that may come in sporadically. But today's Monday. I just got in. I had a couple meetings this morning and was just kind of out and about in the community. As you can see, I am wearing the exact same top that I had on in the last vlog, so apologies for the repeat top, but I did kind of pair it differently today. I decided to wear it with black shorts and my black belt, so it kind of gives a different vibe. I also have on my black flats, so I'll step back so you can see the whole look. But so it's a completely different vibe today. And you know, that's what I love about H&M. And that's what I love about separates, especially like summer separates. You really can like mix and match, and it creates a completely different aesthetic almost. So today I feel like it's very just like almost brooding, you know how your wardrobe can give off, something. I feel like today I'm giving off like intense, going to the library, reading a really deep book in the summer, Anyway, so today this is my vibe. Again, H&M top, shorts. I honestly cannot remember, but I will link everything below. So anyway, yeah. So as you saw, I have some microgreens growing. I did sow them a few days ago, and so they're growing really nicely. And so the interesting thing about microgreens is that they're really versatile. So it's not really interesting. It's more like just a fun fact about them. So the sunflower microgreens are about ready to harvest. So that's pretty cool. Not much really is going on. I just wanted to say hello and just give you that microgreens update. I am really looking forward to fall. That's probably why I have this look on today, because I think I'm just like itching for the summer season to get over so I can start bringing out my fall wardrobe. And what I typically like to do, and I'm sure a lot of you do this, is I like to kind of put whatever season that I'm in, I'll put the other opposite season completely away. So I will package everything up. So take everything out of my closet, fold all my sweaters, fold all my pants and all my heavy kind of outerwear and stuff like that. I will put them in bins and then tuck them away in a different closet. And that way I have my current closet is my full summer wardrobe. I do have a couple like long sleeve pieces in there, like long sleeve shirts, which you've seen me wear this summer as well. But I do have those pieces kind of still sprinkled in just because on days where it's cool, like we have had some days in like the low 70s. So it's kind of important to, have pieces like that in the wardrobe, cardigans, that type of thing, like lightweight cardigans. But otherwise, what I'll typically do is I'll pack up the entire fall winter wardrobe. And so I think I'm just like really itching to like get the fall winter wardrobe back in my closet again, just because like I'm so excited for what's coming this fall. Or really, it's not even really coming, it's more like what's being revived. So, lots of browns, lots of burgundies, lots of deep tones, like the dark greens and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I'm so excited to start wearing them, but it's so hot and it's gonna stay warm until October. So this is where like living up, in New Jersey or New York, I'm originally from New Jersey. So like, just reminiscing about the fall season up north is so much different than fall season in the South. Like technically our fall season doesn't even really start until like November. So it's kind of a bummer. Like I see everyone else like wearing all their cozy sweaters and stuff. And I'm like, darn it, I'm gonna wear my cozy sweater, but it's still 90 degrees outside. So I have to wait. So is what it is. The nice part about this state is that we have beautiful spring and summer, and it's super warm and it's super lovely. And we're by I'm close to the beach or the beaches, and North Carolina has some of the most beautiful beaches on the entire East Coast. So that's pretty nice. And I think James and I are planning a trip to the mountains this fall. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, so that'll be really fun because the fall, like when the seasons change, especially when you go to the mountains, it's so beautiful. I'm so excited. So hopefully we can squeeze that in and yeah. But anyway, that was a quick little update. I do need to get to work because it is like a little past midday and I need to get a few more things done. But I wanted to just come on and say hello. And hopefully something exciting happens tomorrow. Good morning. Today is Tuesday around 10 a.m. And let's see, I just checked on the microgreens. They are on their, I want to say third or fourth day of growing, and they are, no, actually, that can't be right. That can't be right. They're on the third or fourth day of being outside without a tray on top. I was like, wait, that doesn't seem right. So yeah, microgreens, you've got to kind of keep them in the darkness for a little while before you take the tray off. So they were in the darkness. It's so interesting, actually, if you think about it, like the analogy of that, like being in the darkness before coming to the light. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, I just checked on the microgreens. They look beautiful. They're all about the same level now, as I may have mentioned a couple days ago, that it gets kind of funny when you're growing two separate types of microgreens together in the same tray, especially if it's sunflower and then dun pea, which is what I'm growing, because the sunflower grows so quickly, then the peas have to like quickly catch up. But they look really, really good. I'm gonna harvest some this afternoon, potentially for my salad, or maybe I will have soup for dinner. So we'll see. Oh, you may have noticed, so I should have checked the label, and this is the one issue I have with like microgreen labels or sprouting labels, is often you're not quite sure if the seeds are for sprouts or for microgreens. And so I emptied the entire seed packet of, and I should have thought about, I should have noticed this, actually. I'm kind of kicking myself about it, because when I was sprinkling the seeds out in that second tray, I honestly don't even remember what it was, but because it was like last week, I think I did it. But and I could just go check. I'll check it later. But I noticed when I was sprinkling them out, I was like, the seeds are really small. Like, these are the smallest microgreen seeds that I've used. And I think now that they've fully sprouted, I think they were actually sprouting seeds. So I kind of wasted an entire packet of whatever that was in that tray, because they're only gonna get about that big. So I can't even, like, I can't go in with my little shears and like snip like this. It's just not gonna work. So I kind of botched that batch. So it's all right. It's totally fine. I might even just kind of like scratch the surface of the soil, and then just do a new set of maybe sunflower or something like that, microgreens. The second tray of microgreens that I just said didn't grow up properly. I think I actually got them from the garden center. I'll have to go back through and look at the previous vlog where I was sowing the seeds, because I can't remember actually where I got them from. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. I'm kind of talking to myself, but basically, long story short, my one tray of microgreens looks beautiful, and the other tray, I think, is sprouts. So, is what it is. Can't do anything about it now. So anyway, I'm kind of like, my mind is all over the place, because I've had now 2 meetings rescheduled for different days. So my day is a little thrown off. I had like meeting. It was like a whole day of like meetings back to back to back. And now like I've got this kind of weird midsection of my day. So I just popped outside to check on the plants, and yeah, it's really cool today, interestingly enough. It's like cold cool. Like there's like a crisp in the air, like it's fall or something. Ooh, that was weird. We got like a chill. There's like a crisp in the air, like it's fall or something. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I do hope it warms up either later today or tomorrow because, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of odd. But the nice thing about cool weather is I get to start wearing my cool weather stuff, which is, I don't know. I did say yesterday that I wanted it to get cooler. Oh my goodness, I did. I said that yesterday. I said, I can't wait for fall. And then literally today, it's fall weather. Anyway, I don't know if I did that. Maybe I did. Maybe I have like powers. Maybe I have weather powers. Maybe I'm Storm from X-Men. I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe that's who I am. I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm not Storm. However, I would love to play Storm. So Marvel, if you're listening and you want to re-up the new X-Men franchise and cast me as Storm, then I'm your girl. But in the meantime, let's talk about my outfit, okay? So I went for like equestrian chic today. So, you know, I have my cardigan in the car, but I'm wearing my striped cardigan today. But the top is, I don't remember where I got it from. I've got this color in white as well, but I love it. Like this sort of mock neck. I think this is mock neck. I think that's what that's called. Mock neck and sleeveless. It's nice. It's like a perfect layering shirt. Got my little black belt and then my khakis. So I feel very like equestrian chic with my hair, especially like in a ponytail. Because this is like a similar outfit that I wear when I ride, but obviously it's riding gear. These are regular clothes, but my riding clothes are different. But I really want to pick horseback riding back up. I haven't done it in a while, so I don't know. Maybe in some future vlogs I'll be riding again. It's so nice. It's like I love being around animals, especially big, powerful animals like horses. It's just, I don't know, they're just such endearing creatures, and I don't know, you want to hug them every time you're around them. Maybe it's like their big long faces or something. I don't know, but there's something so like about horses. I can't explain it. They're just such beautiful creatures. And I feel the same way about cows. Like every time I see cows, I tell my husband, I'm like, I want a cow. And he's like, what? Like, where are you gonna put your cow? Like in the backyard. So I don't know. I like big animals. I would be the type of person that had like a pet tiger or like a pet giraffe or something like that. Just not even really a pet, it's just roaming around in the backyard. But yeah, that's not really possible. Could you imagine like your neighbor has like a giraffe in their backyard? I'm sure somewhere in the world, someone's neighbor has a giraffe as a pet. I'm willing to bet it. It's just because people are like that in the world. And honestly, you can do whatever you want in the world, you know, as long as you're not like hurting people or hurting yourself. Like if you want a giraffe in your backyard, you can have a giraffe. But anyway, I'm rambling today, so I'm not going to take up any more time until I remember what it is that I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to get to work. I'm going to try and fit some stuff in this sort of window that I have, and then I'll see you guys later. I just harvested some microgreens, and I'm going to stick these on my soup that I have brewing inside. Obviously, I've got to take these little seeds off. So this is what happens often when you do sunflower microgreens. The seed kind of stays on. So I will have to pick each of these little seeds out. And, but yeah, yummy, yummy, yummy. So excited. Lentil soup with dun pea and sunflower microgreens, and a side of almond crackers. Or sorry, pecan crackers. Yummy. Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, and I have had a day already, and it's been a really good day actually. So I'm headed out to a meeting, and yeah, it's so interesting. So the weather, I may have mentioned this yesterday or even possibly the day before, but the weather today is cool. It says it's 79 degrees, which is very rare for North Carolina in August. Normally it's like in the 90s and hundreds, like it's been all July. But I'm wondering if like all the rain kind of brought like a cold front. So it's a bit cool, even though it says 79 degrees, it's like crisp, like the air is crisp, like it's almost fall or something. So I've got my long sleeve polo on today. Well, polo-ish shirt. It's not a polo, it's a polo type shirt. And then my white jeans. So basically my my standard Avatar's wardrobe. I'll show you when I get home. But you know how like your character on like a video game or really any gaming thing just wears the same outfit every single time. Sometimes you can change the skins and sometimes you can change like what they're wearing, but otherwise for the most part it's like the same outfit. Or like a cartoon character. I always say like I'm a cartoon character if I wear the same outfit again and again and again. But that's the point of like having a capsule wardrobe, is being able to like basically mix and match all of your pieces. So I don't know. Anyway, so I've got on like my long pants today, and I don't know, Levi's makes literally the best jeans in my opinion. I do have other brands of jeans that I prefer. Like I really like a gold. I really like Girlfriend makes really good jeans. There are a few different brands that I tend to be my go-to for jeans. Oh, Citizens of Humanity makes really, really good jeans. And but otherwise, like I think Levi's is just, they're great. So it's funny I'm talking about clothes. I think I just spit. It's funny I'm talking about clothes while I'm in the car, not at home. So, but I will show you my whole look when I get home. My microgreens out on the deck, I didn't get to show you guys because I literally had like 30 minutes to get home, make my soup, and then now I'm headed back out. But the microgreens, like the sunflower, they're all like wimpy right now because I didn't get out there this morning and water. Go buddy, go. So they're all like kind of wimpy, flopped over. So I'm hoping I watered them while my soup was cooking. So I'm like really hoping that they perk back up, because otherwise it was just a waste. I don't know, maybe I just kind of rushed the microgreening process this time. Okay, I gotta get gas, so I will do that and then I'll come right back. Okay, I got my gas. I'm gonna put some lippy lip gloss on. Can't really see, so I'm using you guys as a... Alrighty, I got some gas and I am off to my meeting. Sorry, I'm being quiet. I have to like concentrate. I don't know where I'm going. I never knew I could do that. So, what was I talking about? Oh, I was just talking about microgreens. So yeah, hopefully the microgreens pick back up. So I don't lose that half. Luckily, the other half of the microgreens, so the dun peas, which I told you guys, or you guys may have seen if you watched my previous vlog. I don't know. They're doing really nicely, but for some reason I guess the sunflowers, they're a lot bigger, so they require a lot more water. Anyway, hopefully they do well. Hopefully they pick back up. But, you know, this is what I was gonna actually tell you guys about. So it's so interesting, you know, the past couple months or so, there's been a lot of talk on like nepotism and I don't know, just people being kind of given positions without really having worked for it. And it's just so interesting watching certain people in certain positions. I'm not going to name any names, but we're sort of like they're publicly falling, if that makes sense, because of their sort of how can I put it, taking advantage or not really understanding the position that they're in. And this is why I've had numerous conversations with people online and offline about nepotism and the problems with it, and why we cannot, as a society, just give people positions when they haven't worked for it. And we cannot, as a society, just give people status. We can't give people things unless they've gotten there off of their own merit. And I'll explain why. Obviously, as parents want the best for their children, and they want their children to be the stars, and they want their children to have all the opportunities that they may or may not have been afforded. So I understand from a parent perspective of like wanting your child to get ahead in life and wanting your child to have the best position in whatever that they're doing. However, the way society works is we all help each other build and grow, or at least that's how it's supposed to work. And we all learn and have individual skills. And I kind of mentioned this in my very first podcast episode. I was talking about the benefits. I was talking about the necessity of each individual person on earth having a voice. And that extends, I'm going to extend that conversation into each individual person. It's necessary for each individual person to be able to advance in the skill that they individually have. Like, every single person on earth has a unique skill. Now, many of us have similar skills, but those of us that have those similar skills can work together to build a better whatever it is that we're building. So the problem with people giving their children certain positions without that said child having worked for it, the problem is that now the child, one, lacks the skill set that they need in that particular industry or field. That's the first issue. So then all the other people that they're working with in that particular industry or field are at a deficit now, because now there's someone there that doesn't actually have the skill set required to be in that particular industry. And this is all across any single industry, whether it's politics, finance, construction, healthcare, so medicine, law, film, writing, like whatever industry, whatever in music, whatever industry. And so now this person whose parent may have been very skilled at that and in that particular field, and so therefore they assumed that their child would be good at it, or they just figure, my child can do it too, or the child says, my dad or my mom was really good at it, so I want to do it too, neglecting the fact that might not actually be why they're here. Like, they might have a completely different skill set that they're meant for. So, going back to what I had said in my podcast, like, we each individually have a voice. And so if you now take someone's individual unique voice and you put them and you have them say and do, and they have them use their voice in an industry or a field or in a way that it's not actually meant for them, then that's going to cause problems. And we may not even see it in this lifetime, but it'll ultimately cause problems. So, now we have people, so fast forward to what I was kind of talking about. Sorry, I talk kind of I try not to do this. I try to really stay on track, but often I talk in, not circles, but I talk in a roundabout way, and I always drive it back home. So I'm trying to work on speaking in a very linear fashion, so it's easy to follow. So apologies if this is getting confusing. But basically what I'm trying to say is that when people follow in the footsteps of their parent, they're not actually following their individual path. They're following their parent's path. That's their parent's path. If their parent was good at it, then their parent was good at it. And it's possible many, many times the child is also very good at it. And, we could look at, people's individual astrological chart, their natal charts, to really figure out if that's really what they're meant for. But like 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you the child is not meant to do what the parent does. We each have our own individual specialty that we're here for, and we each lend our own unique voice to that particular specialty or to that particular cause or whatever it is. So if we're now lending our voice and doing things that our parent was good at, then how are we actually contributing what we're meant to be contributing here in this world? So anyway, so when we have people that are given positions because the parent was either good at it or excelled at it, or, you know, had a particular, you know, hierarchy in that industry, and then they just give it to the child, right? And the child hasn't actually worked for it. That's not the child's path. The child is now participating and working with people in that unique field that are meant for that field. And then here is this extra person. It's like working on a group project. You know, remember back in school, you know, you in science class or something like that, you're working on a group project, or, you know, I don't know, any class really. If you even go back to middle school, I was thinking high school, but go back to middle school, you're working on a group project. And then there's that one person in the project that doesn't contribute, doesn't help, doesn't do the work, doesn't show up he shows up late to the meetings, you know, to the group, you know, get-togethers where you work on the project. And then the project is presented to the class and everyone gets the credit for it, except even the person that didn't do any work on it gets the credit for it. And everyone else in the group is like, well, wait a second, we did all the work. You weren't even interested in it. You didn't participate. That is what it's like when that is what nepotism is. That's what it's like when people are doing something and they haven't worked for it and they get the credit for it. That's what happens when people are doing things in their particular field that one might not even be meant for. They might not even be designed for that particular field, right? But they haven't worked for it like everyone else had. So now, like, it detracts from the value of the group. It detracts from what that industry is meant to give to society, because there are people within those industries that aren't good at what they're aren't good at being in that particular industry, and they take advantage of it and they don't value it and they haven't worked for it. So I'm very passionate. This is actually one thing that I'm very, very passionate about, because I've seen nepotism at work. Hold on. I've seen nepotism at work, and the way I see it, it's extremely detrimental to society, because now you have all these people in these industries that have worked really hard to get where they are, and then there's that person in their group project that just got there because their mommy or their daddy was good at it before them, right? And so now they're all participating in this group project. Everyone else worked so hard for it. And this one person that didn't work hard for it at all, doesn't even really want it, kind of poo-poos on it, like, whatever, I got here because, you know, my parents made the call, right? Now they're involved. And everyone else that worked hard for it is like, well, why did I even work hard for this? Why did I work hard for this? Especially when someone else that also worked hard for that position is passed over for someone who got there based off of nepotism, based off of not actually being worthy of being in that position, if that makes sense. We're gonna go that extreme. But so now you have people who are like, well, then I just shouldn't even work hard. What's the point? So then people start giving up on working hard at what they're meant to do in this life. And so if you have a whole generation of people who are given half of the generation are given positions based on who their mommy or their daddy was, or their grandfather or their grandfather or their grandmother or their great-grandfather or their great-grandmother, or their uncle or their aunt or their brother or their sister. You have all these people, right? You have, you know, all these people who are given these positions, and they only want to do it because someone in their family did it, right? Or they're only doing it because it's just going to be handed to them, right? And then you have the other half of the generation or generations that actually truly are passionate about it and are excellent at it and excel at it and are good at it, but they're all getting passed up. They're all getting passed over. Let's take art for instance. Let's specifically take film, because the reason why I'm having this conversation is because there's a particular person in the film industry that's going through it right now, I should say, and really needs some good PR training, because this person got to where this person is based off of nepotism and is now seeing what happens when you don't actually value your position. You don't value the fact that you have, you know, tens of millions of followers on social media, and you are not handling certain projects that you're participating in with care, with the care that someone who actually was passionate about would handle them with. So we're seeing this in real time, and we're seeing it happen to so many people now. In real time, we're watching what happens when a spoiled person that benefits from nepotism is given a position that they're not actually worthy of having. And the people are the ones that are like, exposing this. And they're like, wait a second. Here you are, you have this platform. You have this opportunity to talk about such an important cause that affects so many people in the world. And you're just like brushing it off like it's no big deal. And then bragging about the fact that you got where you are because of who your parents were. Like, that's what I'm talking about with nepotism. When people work for something and they're passionate about it and they work really, really, really hard and then they achieve it, they have humility. They understand why they got there. They respect the process and they pull others up the way that they help pull others up. But when someone didn't work hard for it, it was handed to them, and then now they have this huge platform and they're not using it the way someone who actually worked hard for it would use it. Someone who actually respects the craft. You see? Do you understand what I'm saying? But the problem with nepotism. So that's that. But it affects society as a whole, as I keep trying to like get back to keep trying to hit that point. It affects society as a whole, because if not everybody, but if a good amount of people are being passed up for someone who didn't work hard to get there, then that's going to drive down people's interest in even working hard for something. People are gonna be like, why should I even work hard for it? Someone else that doesn't deserve it's gonna get the position. Someone else whose parent was involved in it is gonna get it. So why should I even work hard at it? And so when that happens, when you have a whole generation of people, a whole large portion of the generation of people no longer passionate about things, no longer working towards things because they know that they're not going to get that opportunity because someone else who was more connected is going to get it. What do you think that does to the state of what we're creating in a society? Is that my turn? I think that was my turn. What do you think that does? Do you think that makes people like want to participate, or do you think that makes people like apathetic? Like, well, what's the point? Why should I even try hard? Like, I'm not gonna get the position, And then you have a whole generation of people doing that. What do you think that does to the progress of society? How do you think that makes people want to participate? How do you think the state of art now is? Art is gonna dwindle, as we're seeing in real time, especially with the film industry. The films are like, who even wants to watch a film these days? Who even wants? And as someone who's so passionate about filmmaking and acting and the art of like that visual medium, long form content, telling a story, true to storytelling. If someone who's that passionate about it is like, I don't even want to watch movies or TV shows anymore, then you can like, that's what I'm talking about. That's the example that I'm talking about, because the level of artistry that can be created is, we're going to have little pockets of it now. Like, it's not going to be as abundant as it could be if people who were in that industry are actually using that industry with care and are treating it as a passion project. Every project that they work on is a passion project. They're just doing it because they're like, oh, I can get paid a lot of money and do this and have the fame and the recognition or whatever. Like, then that means when it comes down to having that press tour and talking about this cause, you're not going to have anything to say. You're not going to know what to say because you're not doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it because, so-and-so got you into that position. So-and-so got you into that role. And I'm only using film because that's the medium in the industry that I know the most about. But this is the case for anything. This is the case for finance. This is the case for politics. You think these politicians that get into these positions care? No, they don't care. They don't actually care. Maybe they do. Maybe on like the low levels they do. But the high levels, I'm mainly focused on the high levels, because yes, the lower level, like, you know, the state and community, local, that type of stuff, people really are super passionate. But the high levels, you think our president 4 presidents ago, whose daddy was president, you think he really cared? No, come on. It's obvious he didn't care. It's obvious. So that's what nepotism does. Do you know how far in society, how much further in society we could be if every person that worked in every industry was doing it because they worked hard to get there, worked really, really hard and really, really wanted it? You know? There are like a lot of Nepo babies that are really extremely talented, so don't get me wrong. And they work hard at what they do, and they are really meant for that particular thing. But then the rest of it, but the ones that I'm really focused on are the ones that just like are so like, whatever, and don't even recognize the position that they have. When so many other people could be using that particular position to bring awareness to certain causes, to highlight certain things, you know, to fix problems. The state of the world could be a much better place if everybody got where they were based on merit. So anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. I'm almost at my meeting. I've also realized I've been talking for like 18 minutes, so this is gonna be a really long section. So I hope I drove my point home. I think I did. So yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys later. So I just got back home from my meeting, and I just have to do send a few more eating. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. What is it? Oh, it's 5 o'clock. I just got home from my meeting, and I just have to send a couple more emails, which I will in the next couple seconds or a couple minutes. But I just wanted to show you my full look, because I did mention it earlier in the car. I have on this cornflower blue polo-y kind of lightweight shirt that I think I got from H&M a long time ago. I have worn it already. You guys have seen me wear it. I do wear it pretty often. But I paired it today with my white Levi's. And I had my white loafers on as well. So I already took those off. I have my slippers on now. So I'm gonna get to sending a couple emails, and I'll see you guys later. Good afternoon. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Good morning. Today is Thursday, I think. Thursday. Today's Thursday. And I hope you all are well, wherever you are in the world. And let's see, I just got off of a meeting and a conference call, and I've just been having a morning, and which is wild because I only had like, I don't know, an hour, maybe 2 hours of sleep last night. I do not know why I couldn't sleep last night, other than the full moon. I mentioned to you all previously that the moons always throw me off, my sleep schedule off. However, last night, I couldn't stop thinking about like certain people. It was like they just kept flashing in my head again and again. They were, you know, people that I see on TV often. So maybe that's probably what it was. But how many of you, like, you're thinking about people that you saw in a movie or a TV show or a commercial or something like that, and they're just like in your mind? I don't know why I like could not get it. They were like part of my dream. It was weird. But anyway, I just wanted to quickly kind of touch on what I had said yesterday. Yesterday was quite long-winded, so sorry about that. I wasn't expecting, oh, my stomach just growled. I need to eat something. It is 11 and I haven't eaten anything yet. So I need to go grab some breakfast. But yeah, I wanted to kind of like circle back to that, and because I hadn't listened back to what I had said. I was just kind of thinking like, wow, I talked for 18 minutes and I feel like I talked like that, you know? So I wanted to make sure that my point was very succinct. And all I was really, I guess, saying was that, you know, the idea of nepotism, the concept of nepotism is a real detriment to society, because it just makes people not want to participate as much. Like when people find out, or they find that someone else got the position that they worked really, really hard for, but that other person over there didn't have to work hard for it. Like it just is, it's disheartening. It kind of like dwindles the drive out of people. It dwindles the passion out of people when they find that other people who aren't passionate about something, or other people who didn't work as hard, or other people that just got the position just because of who they knew, get that position. It just makes people not want to give their 100%. And I think, honestly, that's why our society is the way it is. That's why art is what it is right now. That's why architecture is what it is right now. If you think back to a time probably when people were really, really encouraged to just be the most creative and artistic that they could be, we actually have examples of that. Like all the sort of old world buildings, the ornate structures, like the beautiful paintings on the ceilings, the mosaics, the like hand carved statues and figurines. That was clearly during a time when people were encouraged to be the most creative and the most artistic, and you had to be that. You couldn't have just gotten the job to do the ornate carving outside of the building just because your daddy owned the building. Like, you had to be the best, and that's how you got that position. And that's why the artwork, and when I say artwork, I'm including everything: bridges, buildings, architect, like any type of architecture, really. So whether it's like basilicas, churches, mosques, anything, gorgeous statues, like it was the best. Like Michelangelo carved and did the paintings that he did because he was Michelangelo. You know what I'm saying? Not because of who he knew. Michelangelo was a nobody. He was just exceptional at what he did. And that was what was valued. Whereas nowadays, just look around, look at the architecture. I mean, everything is like concrete, everything's cold. There's not that very much like beauty in the exterior buildings anymore. Maybe some of the interiors are pretty nice, but I implore you to kind of just look around, look at our art. We have some really great things that kind of pop in and out, really beautiful films, really beautiful art that come in here and there, beautiful music, that come in here and there. But like, imagine if Beethoven you can't be the greatest composer on earth just because of who you knew. Like, you are the greatest composer on earth because you're the greatest composer on earth, and no one else can do it better than you. You see what I'm saying? And you worked hard for that. So that's what I'm saying, is like our society as a whole, I feel like, is experiencing the downside of nepotism. Like actually, I take that back. Our society as a whole is experiencing the consequences of nepotism, because honestly, and I'm, maybe, I don't know, maybe I just don't get out enough, but I don't see as much beauty places in anything. There's not as much passion anywhere anymore. And that's because people are getting into these positions because of who they know, not because they're really passionate about it. They know it's going to make them money. They know it's going to, give them clout. They're stealing content, concepts, and ideas from other people, and they're using that to like get rich. Like, how are you going to be the greatest, X, Y, and Z if you've stolen everything from other people? Well, it's one thing to be inspired, but it's another thing to completely steal altogether. Like, to steal that. That's not yours. You didn't create that. So anyway, I've experienced that myself, and I'm not even going to go into it, but read my book. So anyway, that was kind of it. I didn't really want to harp too much on it because I did talk for 18 minutes about it yesterday. But yeah, that was it. I have a lot of work to do today that I haven't set myself up for yet. So I need to get everything situated. And today's Thursday, which means tomorrow is Friday, which means Saturday is my favorite day. Yay! So Saturday is almost around the corner. And yeah, so if anything interesting happens, I'll check back in, but otherwise, I'll see you guys later. Quickly, my outfit of the day, my OOTD is this equipment shirt. Remember I had told you guys I had this color, or I have this shirt in like a bunch of different colors. So this is one of the colors that I have. I actually don't know what color this is. It's almost like a brownish olive, like an olive. It's an olive. It's in the olive family. But I don't actually know the color because sometimes it can have like a yellow, like a gold tint. Sometimes it can have a brown tint, and sometimes it can have a green tint. So anyway, I don't know, but it is from equipment. It is silk. And then my pants are the jeans that my white jeans that I love with the little slit. So this is my look for today. And I'm working from home, so I don't have to do anything too fancy. But although I guess I have a silk shirt on in my house, so I guess this is fancy. I was thinking like, I don't know, I guess my style is like so consistent across the board. So anyway, doesn't matter. I will see you guys later. Just finished a lovely meal at Monterey. It was delicious. And now we're gonna head home. Good morning. Today's Friday, and I am so excited that it's Friday because tomorrow is Saturday. But I am not so excited at the same time because I was supposed to have a meeting this morning, and I got up bright and early, got myself ready, and they let me know that we are going to be rescheduling our meeting. So that was a bit, disappointing because I wanted to get out and about this morning, but I figure why not hop on and say hello, and hope everyone is having a great Friday. As you may have noticed, anyone who's like kind of watching my vlogs, I'm probably gonna stick to doing like a weekly kind of update rather than twice a week, just because with everything I have going on, it's just ambitious to try to do 2 vlogs per week. So that's just to let you guys know. But if you are new and you have not subscribed yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well, so you can get notified when I upload long form, so like the vlogs, long videos, as well as the shorts, because I am doing shorts as well. And the shorts obviously funnel right into the vlog episode, but still, they're fun. They're like brief little snippets of the episode. So anyway, I don't have much else to report. I am probably gonna end up playing pickleball with James today, and I just realized that I didn't button my shirt properly. So, oh well, I'm about to take it off, so it's fine. But I'm gonna play pickleball with James later, and yeah, it's always so weird when my day gets like completely like thrown off because I'm just like, what do I do? You know, I mean, obviously I have a million things I could be doing, so it's perfectly fine, but I still, you know, I'm not sure how many of you are just like, you kind of get in your mind like what you're doing for that day, and then that's not going to happen. So yeah, so my morning is, yeah, I have to reconfigure my morning. So I'm going to do a little bit of work, play some pickleball with James when he gets home, and we'll see you later. Water in my OG container, OG water bottle. James is very good, so this is a very tough game. Well, we had a fun match. We're headed back home, and we didn't really keep track of who won, but so yeah, headed back home. I'm gonna take a nice cold shower, and I'll see you guys later.